Hey guys, Man TV here, and I have some huge news for you guys in this video here. I'm going to be talking about the next generation iPhone, and yes, Gizmodo.com has the phone in their hands right now. Apparently, someone found this phone in a bar, which was speculated before, and it was in an iPhone 3GS case. It was apparently camouflaged in one, and that it looks like an iPhone 3GS, but there was cutouts for the new different buttons and all the different things on the next generation iPhone. And so I'm going to be running you through what the next generation iPhone is going to be like. Now to begin, this is the next generation iPhone. Gizmodo did some extensive tests and proved yes, this is the next generation iPhone. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that in a few minutes. But before I talk about that, let me just talk about what's actually on the phone. Now to begin, the new features, there are a bunch. Just from the outside, we can tell that there's a front-facing camera, which is great. Unfortunately, Gizmodo cannot actually get the phone to boot up. John Gruber from Daring Fireball, who has a bunch of Apple Connects, said that yes, Apple does know that a iPhone is missing. Maybe it was stolen. Most likely someone just got drunk at the bar, left it there, and there we go. Apple iPhone 4G revealed. Now, there's also a new camera on the back. Gizmodo says that the lens is much larger than the last generation iPhone, meaning that there's probably going to be higher resolution pictures, and there's also an LED flash on there. So yay, flash pictures on the next generation iPhone. Also, instead of the SIM card slot being on the top of the phone, like on older versions of the iPhone, the SIM card slot is on the left side, and instead of a normal SIM card, there's actually a micro SIM card. So Gizmodo did unscrew it, and there was a micro SIM card in there. The screen is unfortunately smaller than the iPhone 3GS, and this is not actually a bad thing because Gizmodo reported that the phone has a much higher screen resolution. And yes, like I said, Gizmodo cannot get the phone to turn on really. All they see is the connect to iTunes to restore, and they said that the iTunes sign is much higher screen resolution. People are actually thinking that the phone has a 960 by 640 resolution, which was actually leaked before. There's also a second mic on the top of the phone, and most likely this is just a noise reduction mic. Gizmodo obviously can't get the thing to turn on, like I said like 6 times already, so they don't know what the purpose of this mic is for yet. Now, instead of the old volume rockers that have been on the iPhone original, the iPhone 3G, 3GS, and all the iPod Touches, there's actually a split volume control, so there's now 2 volume buttons, and most likely, well, not most likely, but people are actually thinking that maybe one of these buttons is going to be used as a physical button for taking pictures to the camera, which would be fantastic. I cannot stand taking a picture using a touchscreen. You really can't take a picture of yourself with it without your hand slipping, and you really can't take a picture with one hand either. Another change difference for physically on the next generation iPhone is that instead of just normal shiny plastic sleep-wake button, volume controls, and just around the screen, this is now metallic. Besides the new features added to it, the back is completely flat. The components inside wouldn't really fit with a curved back, so Apple did go with the flat back. And right now, people are not actually sure what the material on the back is. People are debating whether it's plastic, ceramic, or glass. Besides that, there's actually an aluminum border going completely around the outside. Everything is more squared off, obviously because of the square back now. It's not completely square, but it's definitely more squared off. And this thing's actually 3 grams heavier than the last generation iPhone 3GS. And it has a 16% bigger battery. One more thing is that the internal components are actually shrunken from the last generation components, and Gizmodo actually did confirm that no, these are not just shrunken versions of the iPhone 3GS, or just in fact the iPhone 3GS components inside a new iPhone back. They're completely new components. Now before you comment below, no, this is fake, this is definitely fake, Apple would never produce something like this. This is real, and like I said, Gizmodo did some extensive tests, aka they plugged it into the computer, and guess what popped up? Number 1, iTunes picked up an iPhone in restore mode, but like I said, they can't get it to restore. Apple probably deactivated the phone from working. Also, this phone was picked up in both Xcode and macOS X System Profiler. Right now, there's definitely a high chance that this phone is real. It was picked up not only in iTunes, but also in Xcode and in System Profiler. And one more thing that even adds to the proof is that when Gizmodo took off the back of this thing, like I said, there's different components, and all of these are actually labeled Apple. And they also said that the components fit so snug in here that there's no way that just a Chinese knockoff could get these components to fit in so well. And I really think, and Gizmodo really thinks, that this is the next generation iPhone, or at least a prototype for it. Maybe it's a prototype for a 2011 model, which is definitely unlikely. Or maybe even be a prototype for an older model of the iPhone, but definitely that's unlikely to be anything else than the next generation iPhone prototype, but who knows. But anyways, guys, that's basically all I can say about the next generation iPhone. There's actually a few things we don't know for sure right now. Like I said, what material is the back. Also, we don't know how many gigabytes this thing is. It just says XX gigabytes. It just says XX gigabytes, so who knows how many gigabytes that is. All we know for sure is that it has a 2-digit gigabyte amount. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for this video, recapping the next generation iPhone. Thanks a lot for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Bye.